Hi guys, this is our 3.2 Khan Academy homework for simplifying square root expressions. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at what's going on here. I know looking at it, we're like, oh my gosh, there's so much happening. I promise it's not too bad. It's just we just gotta split it up. All right. So what we'll see in 3.3 when we're multiplying radicals is we can split them up. We can put them under the same radical sign, square root. So that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start by breaking this up. We're going to look at making this rad 42 times rad a to the fourth times radical square root of b to the sixth. So splitting it up, maybe it makes it, a little bit easier to digest. Maybe, this is looking a little trickier. But that's where we're going to go ahead and start. I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste our notes for factoring. So give me a moment and I'll upload that. All right, so I've got our notes updated over here from our class. We're going to go ahead and start with this 42. So we're going to go ahead and make our factor tree. Here we go. Factor tree, right? So we're listing out all of the prime factors of 42. So we're thinking, what two numbers could multiply to get 42? I know that 6 times 7 gives us 42. And remember, along the way, while we're doing the factor tree, is we want to circle the prime numbers. So remember the prime, excuse me, not just numbers, but prime factors. We want to make sure we circle them, reminding ourselves that we stop. We do not continue going on, right? We'd be here the rest of our lives. 7 and 1, 7 and 1, 1 and 1, 1 and 1, 7 and 1, 7 and 1, right? So we don't want to do that. We want to make our lives that complicated. So next is 6, which is composite. We continue. That's going to be 3 times 2 gives us 6. And both of those are prime, so we stop, right? So we're rewriting this. I don't know where color black one, but we'll rewrite this. So we're listing it in order from least to greatest. So we've got 2, 3, and 7. And we're looking for groups of 2 of the same number that was like copied and pasted that we can factor out. And this one is like kind of weird. Yeah, it actually there's nothing, right? It's not like there's like a 2 times 2 that we could group together. There's no repeating prime factors. So 42, unfortunately for us, but it happens, is all the way factored. So we don't have to worry about that. So I'm going to go ahead and look at our next one, a to the fourth. If you were familiar with that trick that we learned in class, that remember the radical is the same thing as an exponent, we could rewrite this in exponent form. Remember, index becomes the denominator. And you could see, oh my goodness, it's a squared. We just divide by 2. If you didn't catch that, no worries. We can also, another method is we can rewrite this in expanded form. A. All right, and then again, we're looking for groups, still groups of 2 of the same number. So I'm saying here's a group of 2 and another group of 2, right? So we learned in class, one cancels and the other is factored out. It leaves the radical. So we would see that 2a's left the radical, which is the same thing as a squared outside of the radical, all right? This is gonna, I know this is a little confusing because it's like, this is all happening at once, but it's gonna, we'll put it all together at the end. And then this one, our last one, b to the 6th power. Again, if you were familiar with the laws of exponents, that's the same thing as 6 divided by 2, which is b cubed. If we, again, did not catch that, we can expand it out, 3 and 3. And then circling, again, our groups of 2 repeating prime factors. One will cancel for each group, and the other remaining b is factored out. It leaves the radical, leaving us with b cubed. All right, so now putting this all together, we've got a squared outside the radical, b cubed outside the radical, and what unfortunately for us, 42, remains inside the radical because it did not have any factors. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and plug that in. A squared b cubed. So let's plug that in. So a, and then to the power of, that's this guy here, of 2 times b to the power of 3, and then it was the square root of 42. Let's just Let me just double check. Yep, a squared, b cubed, 42. You can say that we're multiplying right in between, but right, kind of like with coefficients, we can just, it's implied they're being multiplied, so Khan Academy should accept it. Hooray! So go ahead and have this open referenced while you're completing the rest of your Khan Academy homework. But hope this helped. If it did not, remember, email, text, let me know. All right, take care, guys. Bye.